Anybody is? Hi. And going live on Facebook. I have a slightly country accent today. Hello. Waiting for it to say I'm live. Buenos dias. Okay, so we're live over here. I am reading today from page 58, mostly. Starting at the bottom of page 57 with the Essenes. Yesterday we learned about the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and today we will be learning about the Essenes and Zealots. We'll be taking it up to the beginning of page 59. Let's get started here. The Essenes were I already messed up. I was about to say about, sorry. The Essenes were another important group, numbering about 4,000 in all. We know about them from several sources, including Josephus, Philo, the Roman writer Pliny, the church father Hippolytus. Why didn't I Google stuff before I started? Give me 1 second. Pronounce Hippolytus. 1 second. Hippolytus. Hippolytus. I didn't even guess that one. What? Hippolytus. Not Hippolytus. I don't think. Oh, I don't know. Hippolytus. I'm not going to look up Philo and Pliny right now because I just want to not make this too boring and time consuming. So Hippolytus. So forgive me if I'm also getting other names wrong. Here we go again. We know about them. We know about the Essenes from Josephus, Philo, the Roman writer Pliny, and the church father Hippolytus. And the Dead Sea Scrolls. Oh, that's number 5. And the Dead Sea Scrolls. We are unable to draw a completely consistent picture from these sources. Taken together, they indicate that the term Essene, which perhaps means the pious in Eastern Aramaic, describes a spectrum of views that fall under the same heading rather than a single close-knit movement. The Essenes appear to have arisen sometime after the Maccabean revolt in 167 to 160 BC, with a significant number settling between 150 and 140 BC, east of Jerusalem near the Dead Sea. Okay, so we have that they arose between 167 and 160, and we have a significant number settling between 150 and 140 BC, east of Jerusalem near the Dead Sea, okay? They deserted this location probably after an earthquake, around 31 BC. But some of them returned following the death of Herod the Great in 4 BC. They were part of the revolt against Rome in AD 66 to 70. So they were part of the revolt in AD 66 to 70 and fell along with the rest of the nation at that time. Okay, they fell along with sorry, I'm repeating myself a lot, aren't I? I'll try to stop doing that. And they fell along with the rest of the nation at that time. Some of their documents were hidden in caves near their community. They were discovered starting in 1947 and came to be called the Dead Sea Scrolls. The ruins of the site they inhabited have been excavated since that time. The Essenes at Qumran were a strict, highly disciplined community that lived together communally. That is, holding all their property in common. They observed rigid ascetic. Hold on. I don't even know this word, so give me just a minute. This is what happens when I don't prepare beforehand. How do you, what is this word? Ascetic. Ascetic. First, I want to pronounce it right, and then I'm going to see what it means.
Ascetic.
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 And then what does it mean? Practicing strict self-denial as a measure of personal and especially spiritual discipline, an ascetic monk, an ascetic diet, austere in appearance, manner, or attitude. Okay, so it probably is number one, strict spiritual discipline is probably what this means. So let's go. Sorry, guys, I should probably just stick to preparing beforehand. This whole on the fly thing isn't working. So the Essenes at Qumran were a strict, highly disciplined community that lived together communally, that is, holding all the property in common. They observed rigid ascetic principles. They rejected anything that smacked of luxury and practiced celibacy. Though Josephus does mention some Essenes who were married. They devoted their lives to the study of scripture, the copying of their own documents, prayer, and frequent ritual washing. So this is what they did: study, copy, prayer, frequent ritual washing. New members were allowed in only after an extended novitiate, 2 or 3 years. The sources differ on this. And a series of solemn vows. Theologically, they were strict predestinarians, believing in the pre-existence and the immortality of the soul. They were anti-temple because of their rejection of the Hasmonean control of the high priesthood, and strongly legalistic. Really? Okay, there's just so much information. Sorry to repeat, but I have to really soak this in. They were anti-temple. And then in parentheses, it says, perhaps because of their rejection of the Hasmonean control of the high priesthood. Wow. Okay. Okay. And strongly legalistic in matters of ritual purity. Strongly legalistic. They considered themselves the righteous remnant living in the last days and looked for a political Messiah, or messiahs, plural, and the end of the age. Some theologians have tried to find a link between John the Baptist and even Jesus and the Essenes at Qumran. This is unlikely, especially in the case of Jesus. If there is a connection between John or Jesus and Qumran, it is certainly not a substantive one. This is John the Baptist, not John the Apostle. So they're trying to find a link between John the Baptist and Jesus, or Jesus, and the Essenes. Like, is there a link between these two and this group? So if there is a connection, it is certainly not a substantive one. There is no concrete evidence that either of them ever lived in or visited the community. Okay. In any case, the Essenes are never mentioned by name in the New Testament. Okay. So now that's the end of the Essenes section. We're going to go ahead and read the Zealots section. And I have a picture of the Dead Sea, the caves. So I'll try to put that up to the camera real quick for fun. Okay, so there we go. My phone isn't working very well, so I may or may not be able to get a snapshot of that into the comment section anymore, but I'll try. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I have another camera to show. Ooh, it's always so hard to line it up. So that is a cave. That is a cave. That is a cave. And the caption says, some of the caves in which the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered in 1947. Let's move on and learn about the Zealots right quick here. Zealots. Josephus refers to the Zealots as a fourth major group of Jewish opinion. He speaks of Judas the Galilean as its founder. Judas the Galilean, or Galilean. He speaks of, but the roots of the movement probably go back to the Maccabean times, when those zealous for the law took matters into their own hands and sought by any means, including violence, to advance the cause of God. Josephus says of the zealots, and I quote, "These men agree in all other things with the Pharisaic." Oh, my battery's running low. Let's hope this lasts just a little bit. Okay. "These men, the zealots, agree in all other things with the Pharisaic notions, but they have an inviolable attachment to liberty. And they say that God is to be their only ruler and Lord. They also do not value dying any kinds of death, nor indeed do they heed the deaths of their relations and friends, nor can any such fear make them call any man Lord." So if I'm interpreting Antiquities 18.1.6 correctly, basically that means that they were not afraid of dying and they did not hold life to such a high regard. Their highest priority wasn't life, but liberty, and they were willing to fight and die for it. If I'm interpreting Antiquities 8.16, Antiquities 18.1.6 correctly. Now, just one more paragraph. Bear with me a few more seconds here, or realistically 2 more minutes. While acknowledging their high-mindedness, at least in theory, Josephus also points out that all sorts of misfortunes also sprang from these men, and the nation was infected with their doctrine to an incredible degree. One violent war came upon us after another. There were seditions, murders, which sometimes fell on those of their own people and sometimes on their enemies, the taking and demolishing of cities, and at last the very temple of God was burnt down by their enemies' fire. And read Antiquities 18.1.1. Although they considered themselves patriots, many of them were little better than Sicarii or assassins. One of Jesus's 12 apostles was a former zealot. If you look at Luke 6:15. I'm sorry, cheesy smile again. I'm thinking of The Chosen. I'm such a fan. So now when I think of a zealot, I think of Simon the Zealot from The Chosen. I think of his face. He's a fantastic actor. And he, what episode would it be? It's season 2, and it would have been a few episodes ago. So if we're on the season finale today, it would have been maybe, if I had to guess, season 2, episode 3, maybe, where you see Simon the Zealot, and you see the fictional story of what his life could be like. Because if you look in the Bible, you don't learn a lot about each apostle. There's not enough space in the Bible to hold all those stories. So The Chosen is taking these people and giving them backstories, and just like it's fiction, but it's lovely. You kind of fall in love with these characters. I even have a newfound respect for Nicodemus and the tax collector Matthew. You just fall in love with these characters. So anyways, such a fan. But anyways, just a plug. You should probably, if you want to know what living in the first century was like, you should probably download the Chosen app. And yeah, so Simon the Zealot is featured. He's a great fighter. He does all this what we would call martial arts today. And he's just yeah, he has this one line. He's somebody accuses him. Somebody says, "Oh, you're listening to the Zealot?" And he's like, "I'm not a zealot anymore. Now I'm just zealous." So anyways, yeah, I would say it was, so season 2 started out with, I think actually, I can't remember now. I would say just watch it from the beginning. Why would you start at season 2 anyways? Just watch it from the beginning. But Simon the Zealot appears at the beginning of season 2 to mid season 2. He's in there a lot. So that is enough. I obviously am in a talkative mood because I stopped reading a minute ago and I just went into a Chosen fan stuff. But I think I am done. And tomorrow, loose tomorrow. Could be tomorrow, could be the next day, whenever I feel like it. I will read the apocalyptic movement. There's no vocabulary words for today other than Essenes and Zealots. And then tomorrow, vocabulary words would be apocalyptic, pseudepigrapha, and that's it. So tomorrow we read about the apocalyptic and pseudepigrapha. And we finish page 59. And then our vocabulary words the day after that will be tefillin and mezuzah, which is so exciting. I just recently learned in real life, other than the textbook, I guess, what a tefillin and mezuzah was from my Jewish friends, I guess you could say, on Facebook. So now I get to read about it in a textbook, which is cool. I am blabbing. I need to stop. Like, I'm sitting here just talking to myself. I need to get off of here. Oh, I actually have 3 viewers. I don't know who you are, but hello. Hi. Okay, I'm going to leave now. Bye. Tyson? Aw, thank you, Tyson. Okay, bye. Gotta go. Oh, I'm so hungry. My stomach is growling. Ooh, hope you didn't hear that. Hello. If anyone is watching, just want to give you a shout out. Hello. See you later. Bye.